if I'll post this or not, because I'm kind of just sporadically posting this because I'm all in my feelings tonight, and I just feel like making sure that everyone knows how absolutely freaking incredible they are, because all of you are so individually amazing that it's incredible that so many of you don't understand the extent of your absolute magnificence. And it really does just bother me that so many of you don't understand that you really are incredible. And I just want to make all of you realize that you're stunning and you're spectacular and you can do anything you put your mind to if you just put a little effort into it. You can do anything. I never thought I could climb, and I'm afraid of heights. But you know what? The first day I ever went rock climbing, I was pretty good. I climbed a 90-foot crack on a Pigeon Mountain. A crack climb that's like a 5.9 or something. It's pretty big for a first-time climber. And 90 feet for a girl that's afraid of heights. Woohoo! Guess what? You can do anything. If I can get put on an honor roll, you can accomplish absolutely anything. And I know at this point in the semester, we've got like, a month left of school. Everybody's just done. Absolutely at wit's end. But you cannot give up. I don't care if you're failing all 7 of your classes, or if you have a block schedule that's like 8. You can do this. You can accomplish this. You can accomplish anything. If you're like in a bad situation outside of school, just not, instead of drowning in homework, you're drowning in family affairs. And that's not okay. And I know that. And I know it's hard to get through that. And I know it's hard to ignore that, especially if you've got things outside of that going on, which of course you do because you're human, so you have more than one thing going on at a time. Especially in high school or college. You have college courses or high school classes, and then you have family stuff, and then if there's a relationship in there, and then yourself. It's just like an emotional tornado. And you're standing in the middle of it. And everything is flinging around you. And it's stressful, and it's loud, and it's fast, and you don't understand. And you just feel like dropping to your knees and letting it consume you. And letting you become part of the spin, right? But you can't. You can't. You have to stand up. You have to hold your breath. And you have to figure out what's worth grabbing onto and pulling out of that endless spinning and endless just torture. You have to decide what's worth holding onto so that you get spun in a circle for who knows how long until you fight and you win and you get it out. Because you will win if you don't give up, if you don't loosen your grip, if you don't move your feet. Hold your ground. Stand tall in it. Stand tall in your decisions. Because your decisions are what are going to get you through this life. Your mother can't decide who you love. Your siblings cannot decide what you do for a living. Your friends can't decide what you wear. Every little decision you make affects something or someone. And most of the time it's you who it affects, whether that's negatively or positively. So why in the world would you make decisions that are going to negatively influence yourself? Because who did I say was most important? Okay, that was dorky, but yeah. You have to put yourself first. Because you honestly are. You have to understand that your priorities have to go in a certain order. If not, you'll get so just lost in everything. Family needs to be a priority, whether it's dysfunctional or whether it's flawless. Family needs to be a priority. Your education does need to be a priority, whether you're in high school, college, or not in anything. It still needs to be a thought factor somewhere. Are you gonna go to college later? Are you gonna finish that GED course? What are you gonna do? You need to have that figured out or on its way to being figured out. Let's see. Friendships. That's important. That does need to be a priority because you have to have those. You'll drown without it. Because everyone needs a someone. And the people that don't make it to their next birthday or to the new year, the ones that aren't strong enough to do it on their own, didn't have a someone because they didn't have their priorities straight. So you have to have a someone, whether that's a best friend, whether that's a mom, a sibling, a girlfriend, a boyfriend. No matter who that someone is, you need someone that you can go to and talk to and trust. And that's going to hug you when you're falling apart, and it's going to hold you so tight you feel like the cracks aren't there anymore. So have a someone. That's a priority. What you do in your everyday life is a priority. Where you go is a priority. Your safety is a priority. But you know what should be your number one priority? Yourself. Your well-being. Your sanity is more important than what your friends think, or what your mom thinks, or what your neighbor thinks, what your teachers think. Your sanity and well-being and your health should be above all. And if you let that go, then everything else deteriorates. Because if you can't hold yourself together, how in the world are you going to hold your family up? If you can't hold yourself together, how are you going to be a friend so that you can have friends? Because you can't be a best friend without a best friend, right? So your best friend can't be your best friend if she doesn't have a best friend to you, right? That makes sense. How in the world are you going to keep education up if you can't keep yourself up? If you can't do that homework because you're sitting on your bed crying? You can't. How are you going to have a someone if you can't be a someone? I don't know. Thought for thought. You need to be your priority. And you need to realize that you're a spectacular being, and you as an individual, your existence matters. You're important to this world, whether you realize it or not. You can change absolutely everything. You can be the person that saves a life, that changes a family, that helps a kid. You can be the difference in somebody's bad day. If you just put a smile on somebody's face, then getting up out of bed that morning is worth it. If you can find a way to help yourself, getting out of bed today is worth it. If you can see the sky, whether it's cloudy and raining, or if it's sunny and there's a bird flying, getting out of bed is worth it. Because honey, you're worth it. You really are. And I can't stress enough that all of you are so important. And I really do care about all of you. And I just want to make it better, you know? I want to help. I don't know. I just want everybody to be happy. Because everybody deserves that, you know? Like, when you were born, you didn't decide and say, you know, I want to have a crappy life. When you were little, and you would run around the house, and when Daddy got home, You would run outside and wait by the door while he opened it. And he would tell you about his day. And then you'd walk inside and he'd kiss your mom. And then you'd show him what you did that day. Or what you learned, or what you drew. You know, while you were doing all that, you weren't like, one day, my parents aren't going to be in my life. My dad's going to walk out on me. My mom's not going to love me anymore. The kids that are running with me now are just going to hate me. The siblings I grew up with are just going to disappear. No one counts on that. So don't let that be your life. Stand up, hold your ground, and keep your head held high. Because you're stunning and you're spectacular and you're loved. And I know that because I love you. So keep going, don't give up,